Good morning. Happy Monday to everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
On. If you can all just keep yourselves on mute for now, and then we can unmute if you want at the end. We've got some questions. Ask in the chat as we go through. If you've got anything you want us to particularly show, or if you've got a question, then pop it in the chat and we can go through that as we get through the webinar this morning. So a slight twist for today. Today's now on retail and how we've got success stories. The first twist is you've got me and not Sam, but we've still got Cara here that's going to do all of the heavy lifting with this one. And then the second twist is that we've actually got some of our lovely IQ users this morning that are live with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to intro them to you throughout the morning, and talk to them about what they're doing because they've got some really impressive numbers and stats with retail. So we're going to talk to them, ask them some questions. Feel free if you've got any questions in the back of your mind that you'd like to ask, you can come off mute, have a conversation, and let's see what they're doing. Or if you're struggling with something particular with your team or with your retail figures, then let's just open it up as a discussion and work out what we can do to support each other and get that retail number, as high as it can be. So, without further ado, let's get started. Little question, as you know, we like, as it's nearly breakfast time still. What's your favourite cereal? I haven't put mine on here actually.
But it depends if I'm being healthy or not. If I'm not being healthy, then Crunchy Nut. If I'm being healthy, then it's got to be Special K.
I would probably steal the kids' Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, I like Cocoa Pops as well. All the unhealthy stuff.
Cocoa Pops with no milk. Ready Breck. Weetabix with warm milk. Yeah. we're all cereal fans. So the first thing we're going to do is think about how do we understand retail and salons today? How does retail contribute to your overall salon revenue? Is it, a big factor in your salon business, or is it think yourself lucky if you sell some retail? Is it something that you build into your plans as you go through, or is it something that you rely on in your business and you push continually with your team? So Salon IQ monitors retail in several different ways. We look at the retail sales in pound value, we look at the retail percentage, and then we look at the care factor and monitor that. So care factor is for every client you have coming in, how many times have you taken that opportunity to upsell them a retail product? For high performing salons, their aim is to achieve 10% retail sales. So that out of everything in their business, you're looking for 10% of your retail to provide you with your takings every month, every year. So are you achieving that, or do you go above that? So it'd be interesting to sort of have a look at your dashboard and work out where you are with your retail sales. Next slide. So first of all, we'd love to welcome the lovely Katie from Skin by Katie. We noticed that Katie's got some really impressive stats, beauty salon. I noticed that you've got your Christmas already on there, which I loved, Katie. I spotted that. So yeah, we'd love to have a chat with you to get started on what are you doing in the salon right now to get the numbers that you're getting with your retail?
I think we're just very honest. I think one of the things that I learned a long time ago is talk to your clients about products. If you don't talk to them about products, they're not going to buy them. But also be honest. So don't try sell somebody a product that is not suitable for them, that's not going to work for them, because they're not going to trust you. They're not going to recommend you to their friends, and then they're not going to either repurchase that item or try anything else. So yeah, and one of the other things is don't judge your clients. So you might have a client that walks in, Mrs. Gucci, she's head to toe, dripping in diamonds. She's got, handbag, shoes, the lot. And you do a beautiful facial and you think, right, she's got loads of money. I'm going to recommend her every product under the sun. And you do. And she says, okay, I'll go away and I'll think about it. She's probably the person who's going to go away and buy it off QVC. But then somebody comes in and you instantly make that judgment. You make a judgment within 4 seconds of, somebody walking through the door, and you think, oh God, this person doesn't look like they've got a lot of money. I'm not going to recommend them any products because I don't think they're going to buy. And at the end of the facial or the treatment, they're the ones that end up asking, you? Oh, is there anything you would recommend? So that's what I've always taught, like my team, even when I had more members of staff, it's just myself and one other girl in the salon. You know, just be honest with your recommendations and don't let your perceptions of somebody, you know, sort of cloud your judgment. Just recommend to anybody and everybody.
See, you are a small salon, however, you do make, quite a great turnover on your retail. When you're doing a treatment from a beauty side of things, or you're doing a facial, are you talking about it as you're going along? Are you doing it at the reception desk, or do you add your recommendations to the client's profile card? How are you actually doing it from the beginning when the client walks through the door?
So when somebody comes through the door, so one of the things that I actually added into our salon offering was a skin expert consultation. So before they even have an actual facial treatment, they can book in for a consultation where we sit down and I actually get the clients to either bring their products in that they're using at home or take photos of them. So absolutely everything that is going on the skin, even to the point of like supplements they're taking, makeup wipes, makeup. If it's going on the skin, I want to see if they're touching the skin with it. So we sit down in the salon and I will give, again, my very honest opinion and say, right, Cara, stop using that micellar water and, you know, these face wipes because they're going to do more damage. So there is even sometimes in facials where I actually say to, like, I won't recommend products because what they're using isn't going to be harmful, but it's not going to do them any good. And I'll say, carry on using those products that you've got until they come to an end. Then we will have a look. And I feel like that really builds the trust because they think, oh, hang on a minute. I've expected to come here for a facial, you know, like when you go to a spa and they recommend you a whole load of products and it's like, they're absolutely not suitable for my skin. So, or I will say to them, hang on a minute, Cara, you know, you're using these two products, using a cleanser and a moisturizer, but you've told me you're really struggling with pigmentation. So you've got a gap in your facial regime at home. So you could really benefit from using a pigmentation serum in there. So I think it's about building the trust slowly as well. Whereas if someone was using some products that were absolutely horrific, I would tell them and I would be really honest and I would say, right, Cara, all of those 3 products are absolutely ruining your skin. You're not benefiting from them at all and starting them on a small regime, you know, again, so instead of trying to like overload them.
And I do think that happens to a lot of us when you do go for a facial or a spa. And I always end up with like a little record card and they give it to me. And there's like a whole host of list of all of these products. And I'm thinking, wow, well, firstly, that's £500 for every single one. But I think that's a really clever way to look at what's missing in my beauty regime and say, this is the one. And you start them off with one. And that's where I would then build up once I notice, wow, this has made such a difference. Once my moisturizer ends, I'm then going to add that in and purchase that from you as well. So yeah, that's really good. I've never actually thought about, you know, the fact that you're saying to clients, carry on using what you use and let that, you know, come to its expiry or end date and then move over and purchase a product.
And I think I mean, if someone is absolutely desperate and they've got, you know, horrific skin concerns, you know, and they're really wanting a quick change, then I will say, right, Cara, if you're wanting to make a quick change, you're wanting to see fast results, then this is what I would give you today to use. However, if you're happy using that moisturizer at home, you know, you want your results to take a little bit longer, then let's today just add in a cleanser and remove, you know, this product that you're using at home, that's going to stop, I don't know, impairing your skin's barrier or creating that redness on your skin. So just give them honest advice. And then I build that into like their treatment regime and say, you know, come back and see me in 4 weeks' time. We'll see how you're getting on with your new cleanser. And if you've run out of your moisturizer by then let's look at something that we can offer you.
And how do you remember all of that? Is it on a consultation form? Do you do recommendations? If I don't purchase something today, how are you keeping hold of what we've discussed?
I just write it in client notes on Salon IQ.
Okay.
Yeah, so like every client treatment that we do where we recommend a product, I will just make notes. So Cara came to me struggling with pigmentation. I'll write down what she's using, what I've told her to remove from her regime, and what I've recommended. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you, Katie. You got any questions, Jenny?
No, I just think that's genius what you've just said. I
Great.
Because I go to I used to go into say like a Boots, where they've got the counters to get my makeup,
Yeah.
and I've been so put off doing that, and I now buy online, which is probably bad, but it's that fear, isn't it? If you're going in there for a foundation, which is going to cost you £40, but then
Hmm.
you know that they're just going to be there going, oh, you need this eyeliner and you need this blusher, and oh, there's no point in using the foundation unless you've got the primer and the, this, that, and the other. And that's kind of put me off because I think I
Yeah.
know I am a sucker for a product. I love hair beauty product. I love buy
Yeah.
all the hair products. But it kind of makes me think like I really just want the foundation. I don't want to come out there spending £250 that I
Yeah.
shouldn't really be spending. So that, and yeah, it is a trust. I would definitely trust you if you said
Yeah.
you've got
I had a
amazing.
client, a bit like yourself. She came to see me, we did her a consultation, and she brought all of her products, and she had actually been to Boots and been given some products by a lady who worked there, and they were not suitable for her skin whatsoever. So she was concerned with dullness and the sagging of her skin, and they'd actually given her products to help reverse sun damage. She didn't have any sun damage on her skin. I mean, she had, little bits of pigmentation and things. And when I sort of explained this to her, she said, "So these products aren't any good?" And I said, "Well, they're not going to do anything for your concerns." And I said, "Unfortunately, the people who work at concessions like this, they're not beauty therapists, they're not skin therapists, they are trained retail salespeople, unfortunately. They will have
Mm.
targets to hit and they will just sell, sell, sell." Anyway, I advised her, because she said, "Yeah, I've spent about 200 and odd pounds." She said, "So I don't want to just throw all of this away, but what is it going to do?" I said, "Carry on using it. It's not going to do anything for your skin, but it's also not going to harm it. So it's not going to make it any worse. Use it until it's finished, then come back." Anyway, the week later, she came back and she said, "I've thrown it away. I just want to know what you want to give me because I trust you."
Oh,
That's
Yeah.
what it's about, isn't it? Trust. I think
Yeah.
there's so many parts of the business as a
Mm.
salon that the key is trust. If your clients
Yeah.
trust you, they'll hang off your every word, whether it's a
Yeah.
hair product or how to do, how to style your hair at home, how to look
Hmm.
after your skincare at home, what to use in the morning and the night. It's all about trusting that person that's, you're putting
Yeah.
your skin or your hair in their hands and you're spending your hard-earned money,
Mm.
then you've got to trust those people. So yeah, that's the key,
Yeah.
isn't it? Fab,
Mm.
love it.
Yeah.
thank you. Thanks,
You're welcome.
Katie.
So, well, we've got some questions about what to ask yourself about the retail side of your business. So, when did you last review the cost you pay for the products you've got with your supplier? Do you have a supplier that comes in every month? They send a rep in and you have that conversation, or have you always bought from the same people, whether it be a local supplier or the bigger suppliers? Do you ever go back and challenge them on the actual cost price that you're paying? Do you try and get a better offer? How often do you do that? Is it once a year? Do you try once a quarter? Or do you just pay because you just keep ordering more products and more products? They put their prices up and you just keep going along with that. Um, do you stock a lot of products in your retail, in your salon? So we all know that when you walk into a salon, normally there's the shelves, isn't there? The nice displays around reception. But do you think you have more now than you did before? Or have you flipped reversed it and you don't do as much retail as maybe you were 5 years ago? Um, and how do you present those products to clients? Um, I think with a lot of salons I've been into, there used to be, shelf upon shelf upon shelf of every retail product you could ever imagine. Now that salon cannot be selling all of those products. That it just, it's just not possible, is it, to have everything selling at the same rate? So you're going to have products that are more popular than others. So do you home in on that and use the system to show you what is a good seller and what's a slow seller? When do you sort of draw the line and think, well, actually, this product, I've only sold 3 in the past 12 months. So why am I stocking it? Why am I having that money sitting in the stock room or on the shelf when it's not selling? Because people, either we're not using it as a team on our clients to promote it, or people just they're not buying into it. And how fast does your stock move through the salon? So do you have things that sit there for, weeks and months on end, or is your products quite quick to move through. So they're the sort of questions. Take a screenshot of this if you want to, or we'll share some bits afterwards. But ask yourselves those questions today and see whether that helps get a start on your retail. So like Katie said, are you talking to your team about home care with their clients? You know, are you giving your client, do you give your team some of the products when you get a new range in or a new product comes out? Do you all get to try it? Do you give your team, you know, a sample to go home with, or do you all start using it in the salon to test it out and to learn about it? Or again, do you have a rep that comes in to do education with your team? And how often does that happen? What process do you use? So Salon IQ, which Cara will show you shortly, has got a whole section in recommendations. So you can add it in the notes, like Katie said there, or you can actually add that product into the client's record card as a recommendation. So you've got that section within there. It's like a completely separate part of the record card. So you know what you've recommended them, and you can build up a list in the client record card. Again, do you have the products in front of your clients when they're having their hair done or a facial done? Are the products there for them to touch and feel and pick up? I mean, like I say, I'm like, I'll go and grab stuff and read it and smell it. I love to smell products and see what it's like. So are you physically putting it in front of their face, or is it all just in that one shelf at reception? And then what are your team doing at the end of every service to make sure that your clients know what you've used and what you are recommending to them, and building up that trust, like Katie said. So there's lots of questions to ask yourself on what you're doing to promote your retail products.
Now, we did have another guest. We've got another two guests. I'm not sure, Brittany, if you're on the Zoom right now, come off mute. But I know Brittany's actually in Canada at the moment, so I don't think she's made it. So I'll just move on to the next slide if she's.
It's very early.
If she is very early in Canada. I'm
Bless
just
her.
gonna try and move your faces out of the way so you can see the slides.
So we monitor the benchmarks, as you all know. We share them monthly, and we do up to 15 different areas. And one area of them is the average spend per retail per client. So we can see that for 2025 so far, the average retail per hair client is £2.72, which is nothing, is it? £2.72 per client as a spend. The average in a barber is 54p. And then the average for beauty is 2.54. So very similar to hair. But I mean, what do you get for £2.72? That's not even a coffee, is it? It's nothing per client to spend. So again, you can go in and see all of this on your dashboard, but where do you sit with your average? Go and look at your average for the year so far and see how you compare to these numbers. And are you below there? Are you up there? Are you about average? And what could you do to try and push that higher? I mean, you don't even get a shampoo from a supermarket for a fiver, less than a fiver, do you? These on my shop anyway, unless it's on offer. And you know, we all like to sort of not use those products. Ideally, you spent all that money on your hair, you know, £200 on a hair cut and colour, and you're going to go away and use a £5 shampoo that's probably going to undo everything that your poor stylist has just done for you. So yeah, go and have a look at your dashboard. Cara will show you how, and just see how you compare to these figures.
Yeah, so you can see on the dashboard here that we've got the retail and we've got the average retail. So this is where we get the figures when we're doing any type of benchmarks on Salon IQ. But what I'll do is I'll make sure that I show you how to get this on the dashboard. And it's, I think, Jenny, as well as making sure that the team members are looking at this as well. They can see it individually for themselves and set them, you know, maybe start off with a really small KPI to start with on retail and then build it up from there. I think half of the battle is trying to get the team members sell on that retail when they're not the owner of the salon.
Yeah, and again, you've got Jess, who's got the average of £6 something, but then you've got Courtney at the bottom, which was like £1. So
yeah,
what can Jess do to support Courtney? Team them up, buddy your team up, so that they can, you know, have a chat with Jess and see, well, how are you doing it then? How are you your targets or getting so much more? And this leads really nicely into our next guest, which is Marina, because I know that you do a lot with your team, Marina, with retail. You know, they're not salespeople, and you tell them that, don't you? You sort of say, you know, So welcome, and
Thank
tell us
you.
what you do to get your incredible figures.
We class ourselves as a hair care specialist. We do beauty as well, which I am trained in beauty, but I predominantly do hair. I do makeup as well, but it's actually finding out what our guests' problems are. So, do they have any concerns that no one's ever helped them with? We sit down, we invite them for complimentary consultations where we give them a personalised hair care plan or skincare plan, find out what they wish to achieve. And then we would bring out a range of products, obviously saying to them it's going to be more than you're used to using, but we make sure that they're following a personalised plan, because there's no point someone using professional skincare if they're using a basic product off the shop shelves, because what's going to happen is they're not going to get the benefits from their skincare and vice versa. So that's why I go into finding out if they are having an irritation on their skin, what are they shampooing their hair with? And then we go through everything and we plan it out. So the team give them their plans with instructions. Obviously, things have changed over the years. And what you find is some clients want to take pictures or they want to take that plan home. And we now train the team to say, actually, if we could keep your plan here, because then we can pop it onto your record card. And then that's when we go and actually apply it to products recommended in the sections. So if we're sending quotes, etc., we use that facility as well. So they have them there. But we don't necessarily send them what we recommend them anymore, because otherwise they go to Amazon or they go somewhere else and buy it. So if we're giving them that personalised consultation for no charge, mostly the team find the clients would go out with 100, £150 retails on that sales.
Yeah, and you're using the recommendations inside of Salon IQ. You're just
Yeah.
not physically sending out anything.
We did try
to
that.
them.
I will be honest, we tried that, but because we want people to purchase on the day.
Mhm.
And the other point I will make out is not just retailing to your client. I will say to my team, never retail. I want you to care from your heart and really show them that we are an individual salon. We've been going for 36 years. Why do people come to us? They come to us because they know that we'll be honest and give them that result. And when they come back, it's about consistency. It's not about just selling, as I said, it's about caring. So when they come back, I would say, Cara, how's your hair been? Tell me how you've coped in the last 6 to 8 weeks, what's going really well, what is not going well. And then I would go into the hair care. So, right, okay, I've asked you to detox your hair once a week and do a treatment. These were your treatments, because I've got obviously the history on Salon IQ to go back to. And then I would say to them, are you managing to do that once a week? And it's a bit like a confession box. Sometimes I say, oh, I forgot. That's no problem. That's why I'm here, to help you get the best from your hair. Or I don't get it, or I don't understand it. Because sometimes people will purchase even skin or hair care, and then when they get home, it's very overwhelming. They forget. So you have to be consistent every visit, not the first, second, or third. It's continual, even after years.
And this is what we found when obviously using Salon IQ, and we can see obviously what you're bringing through. The one question we get from a lot of salons is, how do you motivate your team to do that? Because you're motivated and you're happy and confident to do that at the till and get them to purchase a product. But what are you doing with the team?
Well, I will ask them the question. If you don't give that service to your guest, you are actually giving them an injustice. Okay. So you need to really think about not just doing their hair, it's getting their hair to look amazing all the time and the condition to be the best. And they come in, they see the girl's hair in good condition, and they are trained to use it themselves. So if you care genuinely about everyone that is in your chair, that will come across. So it's their enthusiasm maybe brushes off from my enthusiasm. But I do have one, I will say, I do have one girl that isn't enthusiastic to retail. She just goes through the motions. You're not going to make everyone do it. You can't motivate people. They have to motivate themselves. And I think if they see a little bit of a buffer in their wages, I give 10% on the first 150, and they get 15% after. it's a little token, and sometimes they're going home with £50 a week commission.
That's great. And you know, we do see, you know, we've all been there. I'm an ex-hairdresser. I used to get nervous actually selling retail, and I would never have gone home. I wouldn't have went over even to get 10% of getting that retail. But you know, your team have got you to follow by. They are watching what you do. And do they have training on the products itself? So
Obviously we consistently have training, and I coach them every month, looking at their retail, looking at their average spend per client. If it's been a good month, have they been recommending in-salon services as well? Add-ons, we don't just do a basic cut. They would always have treatments or colour or glosses. But the team can see the results in the client's hair. And what happens is I do get surrounding guests come to us saying, you know, most people come in with a problem, their hair's split or dry, over processed, they've had too many highlights. And then I say to them, you know, where do you want to be? How often do you want to visit the salon? What's your budget? I think if you take an interest in people and say that to them, you know, it's a bit like our Christmas skincare packs. They're like £250. Most of my guests put a £50 deposit on them, and they'll be all gone soon. We haven't even chanced to put them on the website, and they'll be sold out.
Oh, okay. So before they even get to the website and you're putting them on your online shop, you've got people already putting a small deposit down
And each
towards.
time they can purchase, you know, they know what's in there. We find out what level they're on, what cleanser they want. Literally, if they want a product, they take the product out and they can put another £50 on. Before they know it, they've actually purchased the box. They're happy to take an eye gel out or take their toner out, and we make a note of it on the screen, on their record cards. And like I say, they'll be sold in literally 4 weeks probably.
No, that's really good. I always think these advent calendars are a really good starting point, you know, from someone who's never used you know, proper beauty products before, or hair products before. It's a good way to get them started, because I always find once you start using something and you see the difference in your hair or your skin, that, you know, at that point you're like, wow, I can see the difference now. It is worth spending that extra little bit of money to get those products.
Just one more point I was going to say about the team. I try to coach them not to be frightened. Like you said earlier, you could be frightened of doing it. When they get to the end, you know, rather than saying, well, do you want to take any of the products with you today? Usually it's, this is what I've recommended. This is what I need you to do at home to get the results. Obviously, we would like to see a change in your skin or your hair quite quickly. Are you happy to take away the products I recommended today? If they say no, I can't afford all of them, where can I start? Okay, what I would suggest is, you know, we could go a certain, sorry, I'm just going to, someone's ringing, I'm just going to close it off. Sorry, I lost my train of thought now. You'd have to, you know, we're not going to be pushy, and we tell them we're not being pushy, but we just want to get a result quite quickly. And then if they don't wish to take them all, we start off with, you know, even giving them a sample of a detox so they can have a regular shampoo, conditioner, and a treatment. Then we sort of say, are you actually going to use straighteners? Right, okay. And sometimes we've got like point of sale. We had some gift packs worth £26. Well, if you can stretch her 4 products today, I'd like to give you this extra gift free. And that makes such a difference.
Yeah. And not just going to the till saying, do you want any products? No, thank you. And then that's just the end of the conversation. We've seen it so many times.
If you say, oh, do you need anything today? They're going to say no.
The default answer, isn't it? No.
I think we've both done that, haven't we, Jenny? Being somewhere where they say, do you want it? It just no, just comes out of my mouth straight away. But, you know, listening to what Katie and Marina have said, you're getting that advice all the way through your service, from the consultation form to when you're, you know, leaving the salon. You're understanding the products, you're trusting the salon, you want to purchase it from them. And even if it is, you know, a starter pack or getting something that's free, that's building me up to buy products in the future as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much.
Tara, can I just say something?
Yeah, of course you can.
I think another good thing that I do is even if I don't get my clients in for facial and they just have like the consultation or something, I actually tell clients to take before and after photos.
Yeah.
So take a photo in good light before you start using this product or before you've stopped using those products that I've told you that aren't going to do any good. And build the trust that way, because I think photos can like speak 1,000 words. And if they've been using a product and they've seen a visible difference on their skin, then that is again going to build the trust even more. But sometimes you don't realize how far your skin has changed, how much your skin has changed if you've been using a product, unless you've got those photos to look back on.
Yeah, it's funny actually. It's not the same as similar when you're talking about weight and you're talking about losing weight. It's always someone else who says to you, "Oh, you've lost weight," and you think, "Well, I lost a stone, but I can't really feel it." And it's because you're going along with that every single day.
Yeah.
But if you took a picture from beforehand and then did one afterwards, that's where you see the big difference.
Yeah,
And it's the
exactly.
same for your hair, for your skin,
Yeah,
and obviously giving them that advice to make sure that they're, doing it in good light as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tell
that's
them
really
how to
good.
do it and tell them to save it on the phone. And then when they come back after 30 days, I'll say, "Oh, Cara, how did you get on with that eye cream?" You say, "Oh, I don't think it's done anything." And then I will say, "Did you take photos?" And if you say no, then that's well, I think I can see a difference. However, I've told you to take photos, but you haven't. So there you go.
Yeah, you need to physically see it yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Brilliant. And there's lots of reports that we've got inside of Salon IQ. We'll go on to practical in a minute, so I'll be able to show you the retail sales report. The retail ranking report's a really great one. I'm more than sure that Marina and Katie probably use these, and this is going to tell you what the top products are that are getting sold within your salon. If you've got the online shop, you've got products that you've bought online, you've got the stock dashboard. And dead stock, Jenny, this is one that we do get very many clients using the dead stock and not realizing that, your products are expiring or they've actually been sat on your shelf for 12 months and they've not moved.
Yeah, it's collecting dust.
Yeah, just collecting dust. Yeah, exactly. And then we've got retail sales by team member. So if you're focusing on each individual team member, wanting to make sure that they are bringing the sales through, we're going to show you how to do that. And then your stock valuation. So just going to go on to Salon IQ. I'm going to go through a couple of things, a few setups. We've spoke about the recommendations in the online shop. And it's a great way actually now, what we're on the 6th of October, we're actually almost by Christmas. And it's a great way to launch your shop. So we always say around Christmas, launch deposits and launch your online shop. And I'm going to show you how that flows in Salon IQ and how Katie and Marina have said about using the recommendations and adding those products onto the system. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you how to set up the online shop. It's quite simple. We're just going to go on to settings, we go to online, and then we just go on here where it says shop. And if you have a multi-salon, so if you've got a multi-salon, you would choose the one salon that you want to ship those products from. So you would choose that product, that salon first. Then you can add in all of your product terms and conditions, whether there is the ability to click and collect, whether if there's a faulty product, do you want the client to bring them back into the salon and you can pop all your terms and conditions in here. We do have this other charge, and that is for your posting and shipping, or you can call it delivery, you can call it whatever you want. Here, this is actually a service. So we've added in a service called package and shipping. So you would add the service, click on change and add that service in here to add your delivery onto that. You've got your little toggle that says sell products online. So we switch this on like so. And then if you want to do the option of both, you want to be able to click and collect, or you want to be able to do delivery, we just need to pop the toggle in here. Any orders that are done online will go to this email or multiple emails by adding a comment in there. And then you've got your shop link. Make sure you use that. Don't just have the shop on your book now page. Make sure you speak to your web designer, get them to add in the link to add onto your website as well. And you've got the colour, which is your accent colour, which will be the colour that shows on your shop. And this banner message, this is great. So your banner message, you can pop in here, especially over Christmas. You know, Marina's just been speaking about the advent calendars. You could pop a little message in here about, you know, your advent calendars now on sale or coming soon. The other thing that you could use your banner for could say, you know, buy over £100 worth of products and you'll get free delivery. So use that banner message that will come up right across Salon IQ and make sure that that's on there here. You've got different bands for your delivery. So you can say anything from, you know, £0 to £100 is £5 delivery. Anything from, you know, 100 to 200 is £2. And then anything over that is going to be free. Anybody who orders online, you've got this here, so you can actually filter the date range. You can filter the date range and you would be able to see anybody who's bought a product online. So once you've done that, all we then need to do is we just need to go into settings. We need to go to products. And in here, you would need to go into each individual product and enable them one to sell online. So I'm just going to open this up here. We need to make sure that we've got a real great description in there, something nice and easy. We've got the product image as well. So we've got the product image here. We've got the link and we've got the toggle on that says sell online. And then this link here, again, a great one for your advent calendars. If you're selling that advent calendar and you want to do a marketing campaign, you can actually attach this link to the marketing campaign and say, click here to buy this product online. So that's where these individual links come in to effect on each individual product. You just need to make sure that you've got the sell online toggle switched on.
It's not about necessarily adding every single product you've got in the salon, is it, online, Cara? You'd probably say do what, the top 20?
Yeah, top 20, and sometimes it changes. I'm just, Katie, I hope you don't mind. I'm actually going to show your online shop. So I'm just going to go to Katie's website. So we've got Katie's lovely website here, and we can see exactly what I just said. You've got the book online button, but you've also got a separate part that says shop, and I really think that's important. And if I then go on to Katie's shop, I can see you've done it already. Jenny actually mentioned it this morning, that we can see that you've got your little gingerbreads on there. You are prepared for Christmas. It's already done. And so it's making sure, Jenny, that we're going on and we're changing the things that we're offering online. Because I think people get bored as well. They want to see something new. They want to see something different. And me seeing that this morning, I was like, oh, what is this? Little gingerbread. And then we've got the little Christmas tree. So it's just making sure that you're keeping your products up to date. And you're right, it doesn't have to be every single product. It's like a menu. It's too overwhelming and I don't understand it. And then I'll come back and look at it later on. And you can see that Katie's broke the brands down all on the left-hand side. So I can actually easily go straight over to Dermalogica. Yeah, we've got the button there. If I want to go on Skin Aid, I can click on here. So there's lots of different ones here on the left-hand side. And I love that you've done that. It's a nice breakdown and it just looks really nice. It's very professional and it's easy for those clients just to add those to the basket. Usually.
We do have all of our products online as well.
Yeah, you have all of yours.
Yeah.
I think it depends, Katie, like how many suppliers you've got.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, because I think, like you've said, simplicity is key. And we've actually had some comments from people saying how much they love our website, how easy it is and how simple it is to navigate. Because I'm that person that if I find something too complicated, I will just look somewhere else.
Yeah, and we've got a lot of hair salons who will have multi-brands, or someone like Marina who's got hair and beauty.
Yeah.
That's when it starts getting a bit more complicated because like I don't want to be adding every single hair and beauty product. It would be too long. But the way you've filtered yours out, it's just very simple and easy. And I just love that you've put the Christmas things on there already.
If you can
So
buy
then,
chocolate reindeers already, then why not get your
yeah,
Christmas
I
presents?
know. I just think these advent calendars, they really are. They're like gold dust. I
Yeah,
mean, I've already got one. I've already got mine. I get it every year, and it is an easy way for me to one build up, but also to try new products. You
yeah,
know,
Mm.
sometimes you see a new product and you think, I really want to use that, but I don't want to spend £50 if I'm not going to like it. Where
yeah,
with these advent calendars, I think what a great way to go, oh, that's brilliant. And if I don't like it, it turns into don't tell me mum this, but it turns into a little present for my mum
yeah,
because I'll take it out of the calendar and I then build my own little advent calendar for my mum and
yeah.
then she gets given that. So,
All the
loads of
stuff you
different.
don't like, she gets. Brilliant. Poor
Yeah, well,
mum.
to be fair, she does the same with me. She doesn't like red lipstick. So every time she buys, she gets Estee Lauder packs, and when she gets them, I always get the red lipstick from that. So we do it to each other.
Karen,
So
we also have Klarna set up, so if people obviously like want to, they can split the payments. So especially around Christmas time, that's a massive help.
I love that. I love that. Again,
Yeah.
Klarna, one of the things that we've been speaking about a lot at Salon IQ is Klarna. And I don't think a lot of our clients know about it. We do
Mm.
try and put it on email and on the login for Salon IQ, but not everybody gets to see them because they're busy. And I think Klarna is huge for something when you're doing an online shop, Katie. Do you do it with your services as well, or just your online shop?
Yeah, we do it with both. I was a little bit hesitant at first, but actually it made people probably like booking who necessarily couldn't afford something at the time, but they were like, I want it, like a bit of an impulse. I don't like a £150 fat freeze. They would just do it because they could split the payments. So
Yeah.
that's been a real game changer for us as well.
Yes, it's not like they can't afford it, it's that they can, but they can just easily spread
Split.
that
Yeah,
out
exactly.
into three. And do you do that online, or if I wanted to ring you in the salon and say, can I put it on Klarna? What do you say to me then? How does that work for
So
you?
it's just available online. So they do it online. I mean, we've got a salon WhatsApp. So if you wanted to book in and use Klarna, I can just send you a link to book, and it is literally dead easy. And then obviously if they've already got an existing Klarna account, they just sign in there, and yeah, it takes some minutes.
Yeah, it's really, really quick. I do have a couple of clients who do it at checkout as well, but the way
Mm.
they do it, I mean, it depends. I guess it depends how large your salon is and how much time you've got. But you can click the payment link. So when you go
Yes.
to the checkout, they can click on the payment link and then they can send them a Klarna payment that way, and they can
Yeah.
sign up. I think it works really well for extensions,
Mm.
beauty courses,
Yeah, the
and
courses are a big one. Yeah.
online shop. I think
Yeah.
they're the three things if you're aiming at anything
Mm.
towards the question I get all the time, I'm like, it never happens. Oh, what if someone buys something for £50? I'm like, I've never seen anyone use Klarna for something with a real small value. It's usually when they get to the £100 is where they're thinking, oh, I'm going to pop it on Klarna. Because we get a lot of clients worried that people are going to just start doing Klarna for really small services.
I have got a client that uses it for a £28 eyebrows, which is
No.
slightly annoying, but she comes literally like every 4 weeks for them. So
Yeah,
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 it's
yeah. And if she's
Sorry,
buying other
can I
things
just
from you as well.
interrupt you a moment? Because I was going to mention about payment links myself. Obviously, we don't use Klarna, but what we find is people do put quite a bit of money on account.
Hmm.
So they use the deposit on their services or for products. So I have regular people sending me £200 a month for their services or products.
Well, that's great. So they're just
So yeah, they
building it
just
up.
literally contact me and say, I'd like to put £200 on my account, or can I put £100 on my account? And sometimes it can be twice in a month. So when they come to have their services or their products, they never have to pay anything.
And I guess
Mhm.
they could probably get the partner or the mum, give
Anyone
you
comes in, people come in and say, can I put some money on my mum's account?
love that.
We have had a slight issue once when someone checked them out before they'd arrived, or they put the deposit through for that appointment, and then the person had the text to say, I hope you've enjoyed your visit, and she thought someone had taken her visit. And she
Be too
rang,
efficient.
oh my God, someone's taken my appointment. I'm coming in, I haven't had it yet. But that was
That's
because
really great.
her
Marina,
mum.
can I ask you a question? Do you do subscriptions at all?
No, we don't. We have done in the past, but we just find that people just putting this money on account. It's something we looked at again, which we could look at again. But because people do put money, like I say, or they want a payment link,
Yeah,
people on most of the services they book online, they have to pay. And if
yeah.
people haven't turned up in the past, then obviously we go and tick all the boxes
Mhm.
on the consent and everything, and to actually say they have to prepay.
Yeah, I think
Do you think
I'll
those,
show that now actually here on account. Sorry, Jenny, just if you're
do you
reading
feel that
these.
those clients like spend more, Marina, because or they're more open to trying more products if they're putting money on, like say it's payday and they go and give you £200, and are they more susceptible to maybe try something different
Yeah, they will,
or
because obviously they feel they paid for it.
yeah.
Also, you do find people, it depends, not being rude, on the caliber of a client you have, what status they are. I have young people who don't bat an eyelid of spending £250 every visit.
I think also Katie was saying before about judging who walks through that door.
Yes.
You actually don't know, do you, the difference between who's actually going to be spending their money and who's not.
Well, they do give you feedback. One particular client who had a disaster with her hair, and she actually said to me, one thing stuck when I came for my consultation, and that's why I came to you. And I said, well, what was that? And she said, you asked me a question, and no one's ever asked me that question before. And I said, what was the question? She said, you asked me, obviously you're not happy with your hair at the moment, and you've had some issues. Would you like to look and feel amazing, or do you just want to look okay?
Mm.
And she said, oh my God, no one's ever asked me that. Of course I want to look amazing. I'm going to be getting married. My hair's all different colors. And she said, I use every product in a regime that you showed me how to do, and my hair's changed in a short time.
And it's getting those testimonials as well, isn't it? She's a testimonial for you as Salon, getting her from, this is what she used to be like with her hair and this is what she's like now. And making sure that you're sharing that with the rest of your clients, whether that's adding it into some marketing or even like putting them on the website to say,
On the
this is a
website and
great
Google reviews,
testimonial.
yeah. We
Yeah.
ask every single guest when they leave, are you 100% happy with our work and service?
And then get them to do a
Would you
review as
give me
well.
the biggest compliment you could ever give me is leave a Google review. We'd be so appreciative. And most people do.
Yeah, amazing. And then just going on from what you said before about the recommendations, this is where it is in the record card that you're actually using on Salon IQ. So Marina's going on to the recommendations here and she's clicking on add recommendation, and you can add the team member who has recommended that particular product. And then we go on to select products and I can say, these are the items that I've recommended for Cara, and that will then stay
Can I just
on the
double check
client's
on that?
record.
Because we find we have to do one individually. Not,
Oh no, I've just done all three. See?
it doesn't
So if
allow
I
us to do it
go,
on ours.
let me show you. So you've got select products.
Yeah.
Right, if I click right in the middle, Marina, it'll just choose one. See? It's just chose one, but you've got this bit that says add recommendations. See this little button?
So we go into the wrong bit. We need to go in the middle.
Yeah, don't go in the middle. Use the green button. If
We'll
I
do
click
the
on
green button,
continue,
yeah.
look, it's added all of them in now. You
I'll
can
double
do
check it when I do it.
yeah, yeah, you should be able to do it, but yeah, that's the way to do multiples. And then we can save that on the record card, and there's a few different ways that you can use it. When you go to checkout, there'll be an option to add that to the bill, and you can add them all to the bill at the same time, so it saves you searching for those products again. Or you can set up an email in Salon IQ that would send out to the client when they leave the salon. So depending again whether you want to do this under intelligent marketing, go to automation, go to custom,
Yeah.
and in here you can either send a text message or an email. And I'm going to click on email here at the top. We click on new action and we can send this by email. So what we could do is say the trigger for this is just a general, so an hour after checkout. So an hour after checkout, we can set up an email in here using the merge field, so add merge fields, we do have a recommendation link, so you can design your email. We do have ones to choose from as well. So if you click on choose template, Jenny has set up lots of different templates in here. And there is a recommendation that you can use, whether it's hair or beauty or barber. So you could use our email if you want to, and the recommendation link. And that just means that when Cara goes to checkout, I don't buy any of the products, but we've added it onto my record card. The Cara would then get an email an hour after she checks out to say it was great to have you in the salon today. I hope you enjoyed your service. These are the products that we recommend for you. And then finally, just going on to where your reports are to make sure that you're utilizing all the reports in Salon IQ. We're going to go onto the reports button here, and they're all under stock. Everything that you want to see is under stock. The ones that we would recommend is obviously you've got your retail sales. So they are your general, your normal retail sales. And then this is your dead stock. Really interesting. When you finish your webinar today, if you've not done it before, go on to the dead stock report. Have a look and see what's fast moving in the salon and what's slow. So you'll see here at the very top, we've got a supplier all, or we can go in the drop down box and we can actually work through all of these different suppliers. There's 3 options on mine. I'm only doing 2 because I'm clearly not doing very well on my demo. So there's 3 options. There's blue, there's red, and there's green. So the first one is you've got the fast selling stock, fast moving, which is anything that's been sold within the last month. Then you've got your slow stock, which is anything that has been sold within the last 2 to 5 months. And then you've got your dead stock, which I'm on 97%. You would be anything that's not being sold within 6 months. If I actually click on this pie chart, it breaks it all down. So you would actually see here, if I click, it's going to show me what's my dead stock. It's going to show me when it was last sold or when it was last used, even if it's something that's just getting used from the team member. You'll be able to see how many you've got on hand. You'll be able to see your cost price for that. And then obviously your total cost of it just sitting there on the shelf doing nothing.
What would you advise they do, Cara? Like or maybe this is a question for Katie and Marina. Like if you saw those 3 products on that report today, what would you do with them? Would you
Promotion?
Would you promote them and try and get rid of them quickly? And maybe
yes, I would probably speak to if it was a Redken product, I'd speak to my consultant and say, what can you do? They're pretty good. They might credit me back 6 or 12, and then I could do 2 for 3.
That's good advice.
3 for 2.
Yeah, 3 for 2.
My brain's not working.
I would look at them and I'd look who's purchased them in the past, and maybe reach out to them and say, we've got a product, it's on offer 10% discount or something. Yeah,
it expires in 6 months' time, because obviously these is the other thing that people don't think about. These products are going to expire. You are going to lose money from having them just sat on the shelf. So if you're 1 doing a promotion or 2 reaching out, great idea, to the clients who've purchased it and say you can have it for this price, but just to let you know it's got 6 months left on the expiry. Yeah, great idea. But I'd love you all to have a little look at that report. It's really, really interesting. And it's going by everything that you're doing, salon use and any retail sales that you've got in the salon as well. Do we have any questions, Jenny? Have there any questions? We've got like 3 minutes to go.
No questions so far. I've shared a couple of the FAQ documents, so if you want to know more about setting up your recommendations or your shop, then you can go and have a look at those. You can also book an education session with the team. So if you wanted some help with getting your products up and running, or starting the recommendations, then the team are always on hand to book a one-to-one session with if you want to get going with that. But no questions.
Good. And then finally, again, we're talking about Christmas. I feel like I've mentioned Christmas a little bit too much in this webinar. So we've got the Christmas marketing campaign, which starts on the 20th of October. So it's making sure that you're getting rebooked for the new year ahead. And also making sure that you're prepared for this coming Christmas. I think a lot of people, we power through Christmas and then we get to January, February, and we're like, wow, I've got no appointments booked in. This is now the time to start thinking about January and February. And Jenny, I think you can give a little bit more information on what's going to happen in terms of the campaign itself.
Yeah, we're doing it a little bit different this time, actually. So it's not all about just appointments. We're going to have a couple of weeks that are focused about retail. So if you are keen to get your retail set up, I would do it now, because on one or two of the weeks we're going to be focusing a little bit around retail and how to maybe boost those numbers, also as well as getting people to book in. And then the other area we're going to focus on is gift cards. So if you haven't got gift cards online, but again, it's something you're thinking of opening up, as another revenue stream for the salon, then we're going to have a couple of the weeks focused around gift cards as well, because that's a big, it's a big thing. We've got Black Friday, which a lot of salons do, some don't, some people don't like it, but a lot do. So it's selling those now, and then if you're stuck for a gift, why not go to a salon? So you've got, your salon where you've got a gift card for a service or just an amount, or you can give them some retail and you've got all your lovely gift packages there. Why not go in there and advertise them for family members to buy? So yeah, and then the rest of it will be about getting those people booked in, so your VIP clients and then everybody else as well, to making sure they're are booked in. And then keep an eye on the Facebook group, because we're going to be doing lots on retail rebooking strategies to try and, it's not just about getting them booked in November and December. It's about making sure that they come back in January and February, so you don't have, those kind of dead months where everyone goes into panic.
Yeah.
Because everyone's hibernating.
Brilliant. No, it's true. It's true. And Katie, I think that again is something that you do on your website with the gift cards all year round. But then obviously you've got the Black Friday, which I really do think that a lot more clients are going to be doing that this year, Jenny. And especially after last week. If you haven't watched last week's webinar, go and have a look at it. It's when we spoke about everything to do with Christmas and Black Friday and what campaigns you should be doing. So have a little look at that as well, along with this. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, Jenny.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you so much, Katie, Marina. Absolutely amazing to have you on our webinar. As always, it will be recorded. So once we've compressed it and we've got it all, we will send it out. It will go on our Facebook group and we will also add it to an email. So look out for that as well.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week.
Thank you.